Good day, class. I hope you're all ready for a thought provoking journey as we embark on today's exploration into the profound realm of reality. Our destination is a landscape of ideas, perspectives, and perhaps even a touch of philosophical introspection. So, fasten your intellectual seatbelts because in the next few moments, we'll be delving into the very fabric of existence itself. In the confines of our shared learning, we have the unique opportunity to unravel the mysteries surrounding reality. What is it really? How does it manifest in our lives, shaping our perceptions and influencing the way we navigate the world? Today, our quest is to peel back the layers, challenge our assumptions, and cultivate a deeper understanding of the essence of reality. As we embark on this intellectual adventure together, let us not merely scratch the surface, but plunge to the depths of contemplation with open minds and a thirst for knowledge. Let's explore the multifaceted facets of reality and seek to define this elusive concept that both surrounds and eludes us. So, without further ado, let the exploration of reality begin. Our journey today is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about questioning, reflecting, and expanding our cognitive horizons. Class, are you ready to dive into the intriguing world of reality and redefine your understanding of existence? Let the discourse commence. Now, before we start, our topic for today is about reality. What is the definition of reality? Reality is the state of things as they exist, independent of our perceptions or interpretations. It encompasses everything that exists objectively, whether it's tangible. Well, when we say tangible, it's a physical objects or something that you can see and you can hold, or intangible. Intangible, it's like ideas or concepts. It's the sum total of the universe and all that it contains, including the natural laws governing its behavior. Reality is often perceived through our senses and, and understood through our experiences, but it exists regardless of our awareness or understanding of it. In a more deeper understanding, according to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, reality is that which exists as opposed to what which is merely apparent. The term is also used to refer to the totality of things or phenomena or to what is real in the world, as opposed to what is merely apparent. Reality in this essence or in this sense may include both being and becoming, as well as everything in between. Constancy as well as change, the knowable and the unknowable, the observable and the unobservable. This definition highlights the contrast between what truly exists and what might be perceived or understood erroneously. It also touches upon the comprehensive nature of reality, encompassing various states and aspects, including what is observable and what might be beyond immediate perception or understanding. Let's delve deeper into the definition of reality and explore additional sources for a better understanding. Okay, so we have the Encyclopedia of Philosophy. This resource offers extensive articles on philosophical concepts in the case of reality. It elaborates on the distinction between what truly exists and what might be perceived or misunderstood. You can find more about metaphysics, epistemology, and ontology related to reality in various articles. We also have the scientific text, which is scientific literatures often addresses the nature of reality, particularly in quantum physics and cosmology. Books like The Fabric of the Cosmos by Brian Greene or Reality is Not What It Seems by Carlo Rovelli offer insights into how modern physics challenges our traditional understanding of reality. In the psychological studies, psychological research delves into perception and cognition, shedding light on how our minds construct reality. Uh, Wait. The man the man who mistook his wife for a hat by Oliver Sacks or Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman explore how our brains perceive and interpret reality. Metaphysics and ontology texts. These philosophical subfields focus on the nature of reality. Being time Being and Time by Martin Heidegger or Process and Reality by Alfred North Whitehead offers different perspectives on what constitutes reality and existence. By exploring these texts and sources, you can gain a multifaceted understanding of reality, from philosophical ponderings to scientific explorations and psychological insights. They provide diverse perspectives that deepen the comprehension of what we consider to be real and how our perception shape our understanding of the world. Now, let's explore the profound connection between the concept of reality and our upcoming focal point, which is poverty. As we delve into the intricacies of poverty, our goal is to grasp a comprehensive understanding by distinguishing the nuanced concepts of realities, situations, problems, needs, and even development. By unraveling, sorry, by unraveling these interwoven threads, we aim to explore the complexities surrounding poverty and gain insights into its multifaceted dimension. Again, before we start our discussion, let's first differentiate the concept of realities, situations, problems, needs, and development. Reality refers to the actual state of affairs or existence. Reality can also include both objective, observable facts and subjective perception. Reality may vary among individuals or communities based on their perspectives and experiences. In wait in uh, situations describes the circumstances or conditions at a particular point in time or within a specific context. It can be dynamic and subject to change. While we all know that situation may encompass a range of factors, including social, economic, political, and environmental. So that's the situations, no? And now we also have the reality, the problems. Problems represent challenges or difficulties that hinder the achievement of desired goals or outcomes. Problems can arise from various sources, such as internal or external factors, and may require solutions or interventions. Needs also refers to essential requirements for, of course, for survival, for our well being, and fulfillment. Needs can include basic necessities like food, shelter, and clothing, as well as psychological and social needs. Also, needs distinguish from wants, which are non-essential desires. So when we say wants, these are something we that is not really needed. This is something that you can live without. Okay, unlike needs is the basic necessities, like as we mentioned, food, shelter, and clothing. Now, let's go to the poverty. Poverty is a state of deprivation characterized by a lack of resources and opportunities needed for a minimum standard of living. Poverty can manifest in various forms, including income poverty, education poverty, and health poverty. Often measured in terms of income levels, poverty, access to education and healthcare, and overall quality of life. Usually, we measured poverty through the terms of income levels. When you say income levels, if you have a low income levels, sometimes you consider yourself poor. If we have no access to education, usually we consider ourselves poor. And also, of course, the health care. Sometimes if you can't go to hospital or clinic for a checkup, you also would consider yourself poor. But later on, we will discuss deeply about poverty. Okay? So, next is the development. Development encompasses a process of positive change and growth, often associated with economic, social, and of course, human advancements. Development includes improvements in living standards, infrastructure, education, healthcare, and other aspects of well-being. It can be Development can be measured through indicators such as gross domestic product or the GDP. Literacy rates is also part of the development. Life expectancy and even poverty reduction. Okay? So, in summary, while reality and situation describe the current state of affairs, problems represent challenges within that context. Needs refer to essential requirements. Poverty denotes a state of deprivation, and development involves positive changes and advancement in various aspects of life. These concepts are interconnected and play crucial roles in understanding and addressing complex social issues. Okay, now let's have an introduction to our next topic, which is the poverty. All right, shifting our attention. Okay, let's dive into the multifaceted aspects of poverty, a socioeconomic condition that has persisted throughout history, shaping societies and affecting countless lives. This will serve as a crucial focal point for our exploration in this subject. Okay, so the history of poverty. Poverty isn't a recent phenomenon. Okay, its roots trace back to ancient civilization where disparities in wealth and access to resources were evident. Throughout history, various factors, economic, political, and social, have contributed to the perpetuation of poverty. We have the Industrial Revolution, for instance, altered the nature of poverty, leading to urbanization and new forms of inequality. Now, let's also see the importance of understanding poverty, because understanding poverty is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, it's a matter of social justice and human rights. It's imperative to recognize and address the disparities that hinder individuals from living dignified lives. Secondly, poverty has far reaching impacts on societies, affecting economic productivity, healthcare, education, crime rates, and social cohesion. And of course, lastly, comprehending poverty aids in crafting effective policies and interventions to alleviate it. So now, let's see. Uh, this importance of understanding poverty, as we discussed, has causes also. Okay? So, causes of poverty. Poverty is a complex issue with multifaceted causes. Remember, economic factors such as unemployment, low wages, and lack of access to resources play a pivotal role. Structural issues, including unequal distribution of wealth, systemic discrimination based on gender, race, or ethnicity, and limited access to education and healthcare contribute significantly to poverty. Additionally, political instability, conflict, and environmental factors exacerbate poverty in various regions. So, we also need to look for the effects of poverty. The impacts of poverty are profound and pervasive. Individuals living in poverty often face challenges in accessing adequate nutrition. Uh, they also faces challenges in healthcare and education, which adversely affect their physical and mental well-being. Poverty contributes to cycle of deprivation, hindering opportunities for socio-economic advancement and perpetuating intergenerational poverty. It also strains and it also strains social systems, leading to increased crime rates and societal instability. Now, let's look to the strategies to address poverty, because this is the main reason also, to at least discuss the strategies to address poverty so that we can at least check or look for a solution with this, with regards to poverty. Okay? Various strategies exist to tackle poverty. Always remember that this include policies focused on economic growth, job creation, and income support programs. Additionally, investment in educations or healthcare or even infrastructure and social protection mechanisms are crucial. Empowering marginalized communities, promoting gender equality, and fostering inclusive economic development are integral components of effective poverty alleviation strategies. So, if you look into this alternative or investments, no, like in education, in healthcare, and in infrastructure, and in social protection mechanism, these are very crucial topic or very crucial issue to tackle. However, uh, we also need to at least empower our communities, especially promote gender equality. Because as we all know, in today's lives, our women is also part of the manpower of our society. And fostering inclusive economic development are also integral components of effective poverty alleviation strategies. Okay? Uh, Poverty. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, poverty refers to a condition in which individuals or communities lack the financial resources and essential necessities needed to maintain a basic standard of living. Poverty is a complex and multidimensional phenomenon that encompasses various aspects, including income, education, health, and access to basic services. Different organizations and researchers may use specific criteria to define and measure poverty, and the definition can vary across regions and contexts. Okay, let's check the types of poverty. We have at least, I think, nine types of poverty to discuss in this class. The first poverty is the absolute poverty. When we say absolute poverty, this type of poverty is defined by a fixed threshold or poverty line, below which individuals or household are considered to lack the basic necessities for survival. The threshold is often set based on the cost of minimum food basket and other essential goods and services. Second is the relative poverty. Relative poverty is determined by comparing an individual or group's income and living conditions to the wider community or society. Individuals in relative poverty may have enough to meet basic needs but still experience a lower standard of living compared to the majority. We also have the chronic poverty. Chronic poverty refers to a persistent and long term condition where individuals or communities remain in poverty over an extended period. Factors such as lack of education, limited access to resources, and systemic issues contribute to chronic poverty. Number four is the situational poverty. In situational poverty, uh, it is a temporary state of poverty that individuals or families may experience due to specific events or circumstances, such as job loss, illness, or natural disaster. Once the situation improves, individuals may move out of poverty. So that's situational poverty. It is temporary. Okay? It is a temporary state of poverty. Sometimes we experience problems by losing our job, uh, being sick, or sometimes your house encountered a natural disasters like floods, what else? Earthquake, and sometimes not even natural disasters, even man-made like fire. Okay, number five, we have the urban and rural poverty. Urban and rural poverty is a poverty that manifests differently in urban and rural areas. I mean, poverty can manifest differently in urban and rural areas. Urban poverty may be characterized by challenges such as high living costs, limited job opportunities, and inadequate housing. While in rural areas, factors like lack of infrastructure, poor agricultural productivity, and limited access to education and healthcare contribute to poverty. Number six, we have the income poverty. Income poverty focuses on the inadequacy of an individual or household's income to meet basic needs. These income poverty lines are often set based on income levels, and those falling below the threshold are considered income poor. Okay, why they were called income poor? Because there is inadequacy of an individual or household's income to meet their basic needs. Sometimes, uh, yes, you have a job. However, your income could not is not sufficient for the basic needs of your families. For example, if you are only earning 150 pesos a day, so that would not suffice for the basic needs of of your family. Next is the multidimensional poverty. Multidimensional poverty considers various factors beyond income, including education, health, housing, and social participation. Always remember this, ha. In poverty, there's always lack of education, lack of healthcare, uh, lack of uh, basic needs, the social participation, and even housing. In multidimensional poverty, the Multidimensional Poverty Index or the MPI is one example of a metric that assesses multiple dimensions of poverty. Okay, next. Number 8 is the child poverty. Child poverty specifically addresses the well-being and living conditions of children. It considers it considers factors such as access to education, healthcare, and nutrition. Again, in poverty, there's always poor access to education, poor access to healthcare, and poor nutrition. Number 9, which is the last, is the gender poverty gap. Gender poverty gap refers to the disparities in poverty rates between men and women. Women, in many cases, face higher levels of poverty due to factors such as gender-based discrimination, limited access to education, and unequal economic opportunities. Okay, understanding the different types of poverty is essential for designing targeted interventions and policies to address the specific challenges faced by individuals and communities in various contexts. Effective poverty alleviation strategies often require a comprehensive and multidimensional approach. As I mentioned earlier, always remember that poverty has many branches, causes, and even issues that are attached to it. We know that poverty is diverse. There are strategies to address poverty, as I discussed with you. Now, let's discuss the non-monetary aspects of poverty. So, oh, meron palang non-monetary. Non-monetary. When we say non-monetary, hindi siya pera. Okay? It is not money. Okay, so non-monetary. Poverty extends beyond income and includes various non-monetary dimensions such as health, education, what else? Shelter, social exclusion, access to services, and of course, vulnerability. So non-monetary aspects of poverty. Poverty isn't solely about income. Okay? It encompasses several non-monetary aspects. So what are these non-monetary aspects of poverty? We have number one, health. When you say health, there's lack of access to healthcare, leading to higher disease prevalence and reduced life expectancy. We all know that if your health is not good, of course, you will not live longer. You will have a chance or higher chance to have disease, and your life expectancy will reduce. We also have the education. Okay? Education, these are the limited or no access to quality education. When we say education, uh, you have no access to education. There is, however, there is also a situation where you have education, but the education has no quality. Why? Sometimes you will just go to certain to places like alternative educations, which is you will not get enough education, or you will not get the basic knowledge and even the deeper knowledge for you to live and to have a what we say to have a decent life and a decent work or job. Education is a limited or no access to quality education, which perpetuates intergenerational poverty. Sometimes we see people that when their family or when their parents are poor, usually the children becomes poor. Although we are not saying that this is always the case, however, ah, if the children has no will to at least change their lives when they become mature people or person, they will stay into poverty. So sometimes we could say, no, it is not true that if your parents are poor, you will also be poor. Yes, that's correct. However, the 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 decision to live to live in the mud of poverty will be based on your dedication, on your hard work, on your ambition to get out of poverty. Next, we have the nutrition. These are the non-monetary aspects of poverty. Nutrition, inadequate access to sufficient and nutritious food, leading to malnutrition and health issues. Number four, we have the shelter. Again, inadequate or insecure housing, living in slums or unsafe conditions. Actually, right, in today's world, sometimes you will see people living in a slum area but has a concrete housing, complete appliances. Why? Why is it these families or these people living in slum area, but if you look into into their lives, you will see that they are not poor. It's because sometimes these people are working hard, no, working hard to at least have a decent life. This is what I'm saying earlier, no. If you have the ambition to improve your life, nothing is impossible. Okay. Number five is the social exclusion. Being marginalized or discriminated against due to gender, ethnicity, or other factors. So when you say social exclusion, usually you were not part of a group or certain group because they don't like you, they don't believe in you, you are like this and you are like that. So that's the reason of the non-monetary aspects of poverty in social exclusion. Number six, we have the access to services. Access to services are limited access to clean water, sanitation, electricity, and transportation. Actually, Filipinos are still very lucky when it comes to clean water because you can go anywhere and have water, get water, ask for water, beg for water. You will have a clean water. No? However, of course, the electricity and transportations are very expensive for poor Filipinos, and access to services such as electricity and transportation would be hard for those who earns very little for their basic needs. Actually, right now, electricity and transportation are part of the basic needs because you will not be able to go to your work, to places that you need to earn money if you don't have a transportation money. And electricity is also uh, we can also consider as part of our basic needs because if you use electricity, you have to have money for the payment. So these services are basic services that sometimes we don't have access. Sometimes, no, poor have no access. The last is the vulnerability, the lack of social safety nets, making individuals more vulnerable to economic shocks. Uh, when pandemic hits the world, we have many families, many individuals that were shocked and that are vulnerable because of the effect effect of the pandemic. Okay, that's the problem of our poor families or individuals. Sometimes if something happens, rich people can stand longer than poor people. Okay, now let's proceed to the dimensions of poverty. Remember, I have sent you an article to study the dimensions of poverty. The dimensions of poverty encompass income, human development, social exclusion, and vulnerability, offering a comprehensive understanding of the challenges faced by impoverished individuals or communities. In the dimension of poverty, income poverty is lack is the lack of adequate income to meet to meet basic needs. That is the number one dimension of poverty. Number two is the human development. Human development, when we say human development, there is lack of access to education, again, healthcare, and other services that contribute to overall well being. Number three, we have the social exclusion. You already heard this, no? The income poverty, the human development, the social exclusion, and the vulnerability in the non-monetary aspects of poverty, no? It's the same. Okay? But when we say human development, again, the access to education, the lack of access to education, healthcare, and other services which contribute to overall well-being, and the social exclusion. Social exclusion is marginalization from social, marginalization from economic, and marginalization from political participation. Last is the vulnerability. Exposure to risks such as economic instability, natural disasters, or health crisis without adequate safety nets. That's vulnerability in the dimensions of poverty. Okay, these definitions and dimensions aim to capture the multifaceted nature of poverty, highlighting that it's not solely about income but encompasses a wide array of interconnected factors that hinder individuals or communities from living and fulfilling their lives. This covers a range of perspectives, methodologies, and research findings that contribute to a comprehensive understanding of poverty. Its diverse dimensions and the methodologies used to measure and address it, they provide valuable insights into both the theoretical frameworks and practical applications in the field of poverty studies. Again, in conclusion, poverty is a multidimensional issue with deep-seated causes. Okay? Poverty is a multidimensional issue with deep-seated causes and far-reaching consequences. Addressing poverty requires a multifaceted approach, combining economic, social, and political interventions. Again, as future leaders and policymakers, as future social workers or teachers, as future nation builder, understanding the complexities of poverty equips us to contribute meaningfully to creating a more equitable and prosperous society for all. Thank you very much, class, for listening. I hope you understand and you learn something from this video, from this lecture video. Study well and be ready always with our exams or quizzes. Again, thank you very much for listening. Good luck.